Amidst growing concerns over online safety, today marks Safer Internet Day, a global initiative aimed at promoting responsible digital citizenship and safeguarding users from online threats. As the digital landscape continues to evolve, experts emphasize the importance of raising awareness about internet safety practices to ensure a secure online experience for all. Across the globe, there are a lot of websites used by millions of users daily. There were 23.05 million internet users in Ghana at the start of 2023, when internet penetration stood at 68.2%. Ghana was home to some 6.60 million social media users at the beginning of January 2023, equating to 19.5% of the total population. So how do we ensure a safer internet usage? I've been joined by Executive Director of Child Online Africa, Awo Aidam Amenya, and she'll be helping us understand what we need to do to be safe whilst using the internet. Grateful for your time. For so long, we've had cause to complain about how in Ghana, for instance, we are not maximizing the benefits of internet, but rather letting our guards down to be victims of internet fraud and all the bad things you can think of. I want us to first of all look at the enormous benefits we get from this forum called the internet.
Right. Thank you for the opportunity and good morning to your viewers and listeners, Aisha. So internet has been a platform for us for some time now, and we engage on it to do a number of things, including business. And as you can tell, even government business has now moved onto the space because clearly there is going to be that connection, that measure between the physical and the virtual. And in no time, we see what is happening when it comes to the use of artificial intelligence, when it comes to the use of machine learning, and what have you. So a number of things have evolved when we started the use of the platform. And this evolvement has also resulted in positive and the negatives. But clearly, everything comes with both sides, and it's now our responsibility to ensure that, okay, whatever it is that we want to do, can we make sure that we are doing it in such a way that it does not leave those who are vulnerable more vulnerable than they came, and we are also making sure that the right skills and tools for both young people and adults are in place to make sure that everybody is making the most and having the best experience as much as possible in the space. So clearly, those are some of the things that internet has come to do to us.
Now, let's look at the dangers in using this platform. I mean, there's child abuse issues, there's privacy matters, there's criminal connotations. The list is long. Let's start with the impact on children and privacy matters.
Aisha, unfortunately, I would say that from the inception of the internet, I don't think children were considered as consumers that much. Because if children were that considered, provisions would have been made from get-go to make sure that their coming into the space will mean this and that to them. Unfortunately, that has not been the case, and it was an afterthought. But then much as it's an afterthought, I would say better late than never. But it doesn't look like we are doing much in that regard, because it seems everybody is at loss as to what can really work to protect children, taking into consideration the fact that they have the right to be in the space. However, to what extent can their rights go, and to what extent can solutions go to help children? Now, what is even worsening the plight for children is the fact that, we encourage innovation. Much as we encourage innovation, everybody is learning to code or to design solutions in one way or the other. And unfortunately, people with bad intentions are also designing solutions, and they are putting them out there on the platform. And unsuspecting consumers are using those platforms. And so that tends to bring about privacy concerns and a number of things, because clearly if you are going to use a solution and you don't know how much information is being taken from you and what the information is being used for, then clearly you are not safe. And which is why the issue of data protection comes in. A data protection authority will now have to be putting people on their toes to make sure that companies register and they declare how much information they're collecting on people, especially children, who are even not supposed to be consenting to data of themselves being taken. But clearly, before you be able to use a platform, some requirements are made of you, and you have to provide some information. So that is what is bringing the work, or making the work a little bit difficult. And the other thing has to do with the fact that the safety by design protocol, which developed countries are adhering to, developing countries like Ghana are not keeping to that. So it makes it a bit difficult to even hold providers accountable to platforms that they are, or solutions that they are churning out to be used by people, parents, children, and other stakeholders. So we will now have to be doing our homework, to be sitting down and asking ourselves that, okay, what do we have there? What we are putting out there, is it worth it? Can it help to promote what we are talking about? Or is helping to enrich somebody's pocket or somebody's following? So those are conversations we should be having, and it's one of the reasons why we are holding Africa Safer Internet Day, because Africa seems to be one of the laid-back regions, and very little is being done. We don't have Silicon Valley with us here to hold Meta and Co accountable. So how do we leverage on platforms to ensure that, spaces to ensure that our voices are being heard and our needs are being taken into consideration? So it's the essence of this day that we are marking today and globally.
So after all the conventions that Ghana is signatory to, the Budapest Convention, the Malabo Convention, all the others, have we really made progress?
Yeah, we are making progress by ratifying those protocols. However, there's a need for us to go a step further by operationalizing some of those protocols. For instance, the Budapest Convention has a solution to it, which requires that the state agencies and all the signatories, or the signatories to the protocol, are trained in how to identify or spot child sexual exploitation and abuse. So the question is, have we gone further to operationalize? We haven't done that yet. So it's something we need to do if we want to safeguard the space for children who are being sexually exploited in the space, because it doesn't take magic to spot it. You need some skills and some understanding to be able to know that, okay, this connection with this young person is to groom the child and will lead to ABC. So we will now have to do that heavy lifting at our end to write to wherever the protocol came from, in order for them to activate that solution for us as a country, for us to take advantage of. So I don't think we're doing much when it comes to operationalizing some of those protocols that we've ratified. And it's one of the things that we would want to see happening going forward.
And so at this celebration, the conference that you're attending today to mark this day, what are the recommendations that you are going to provide all your other colleagues and other stakeholders to make it better to use the internet?
All right. So in fact, the forum is just about starting, or they've started. I have to be off to attend to you. However, we are expecting that practical recommendations are going to come from our speakers, because we have speakers ranging from fintech right down to artificial intelligence specialists. So if all these people are working within Africa, or have the knowledge of the region in mind, they will prefer solutions which will help to empower the minds of young people in our region, and also protect their rights whilst they engage in the space. So the recommendations will come. Maybe when it's out, I will share those with you. But at the moment, our role is to do the coordination of all these stakeholders across Africa, get their recommendations, table them to the African Union to see how best they can integrate some of those recommendations into existing protocols that they've ratified. And by and large, these will go a long way to helping safeguard the space for children and young people in the region. Aisha.
Grateful for your time. Awo Aidam Amenya. She's Executive Director for Child Online Africa. We're still